Good afternoon, welcome back. It is Sunday, March 26th, 2023, and we are here for our birthday slash special event video. So, a few special events that we have for today. On this date, 1989, Spring Richmond race was run, Pontiac Excitement 400, won by Rusty Wallace, his second of 6 wins for that season. But the more significant event that took place during this race, Richard Petty failed to qualify for this race, and it was the first time since 1971 that Petty had failed to qualify, breaking a streak. I believe it was 512 or 513 straight races, a record that would stand till Terry Labonte would break that in 1996. So that was a pretty big day in NASCAR. On this day in 1995, Sterling Marlin wins at Darlington in the Trans-South 400. His first non-restrictor plate win. It was a very, very interesting race, and also offered the best career finishes for Davy Jones and Billy Standridge. On this date in 2018 at Martinsville, Clint Bowyer wins the next to last race of his Cup career, the STP 500 at Martinsville, breaking a nearly 6-year winless drought for him in the Cup Series that also seen for him drive for teams such as Michael Waltrip Racing and H. Scott Motorsports during that period of time. And also last year on this date in 2022 at COTA, Zane Smith and AJ Allmendinger won the Truck Series race and the Xfinity Series race. So guess what? They did it again in 2023. So does that mean Ross Chastain wins today? We'll just have to wait and see. So we have a few cardless birthdays that I want to hit real quick. Hank Parker Sr. born on this date in 1953. Maybe that's why Hank Jr. drove car 53 for a while. Lella Lombardi born on this date in 1943. She was one of 3 women to start in the Pepsi just the Firecracker. They didn't have Pepsi then. Firecracker 400 back in the late 70s. I believe it was 76 or 77. But it was Janet Guthrie, Christine Beckers, and Lella Lombardi. Born on this date in 1958, Elio De Angelis, former Formula One driver, who was killed in 1986 in a practice accident at Paul Ricard while he was driving. I can't remember the team he was driving for, because he was driving for Lotus, and then, or was it in the Lotus? I think it may have been in the Lotus. Born on this date in 1976, Blaze Alexander, former ARCA Series and Xfinity Series driver. Of course, he tragically died in 2001 in an ARCA crash in Charlotte. And our final cardless birthday of the day, born on this date in 1952, former F1 driver Didier Pironi, who was involved in a couple of controversial moments in F1 in the early 80s, but I believe he later died in a powerboat accident. So this has kind of been a dark birthday day today. Not meant to be themed that way. Sometimes those just happen. So we have a few birthdays with cards. We will get to those right now. Born on this date in 1936, Mr. Dan Ford, who was a general mechanic for Hendrick Motorsports. Here you see the black and the red. Max 1992. We'll let you read the back of the black one, because the red one will say the exact same thing. Born on this date, 1951, former Journeyman Cup crew chief Doug Williams. Here you see he's posed with the 66 car, which was driven by Dick Trickle, Lake Speed, among others. There's a nice view of the back of the car, the quarter panel. Then he moved over to Derek Cope's team, the 10 car with Whitcomb Racing. There you see a little bit of the Chevy logo, black and the red Max. There's a good look at him in his Pure Later uniform. 1993 moves to the Heilig Myers team. Bobby Hillen driving at this time. So as you see, he kind of jumped around. He was a serviceable crew chief. He was just never really able to get with a really, really great organization. And our final birthday, born on this day in 1990, cousin of current Cup Series driver Chris Buescher, Mr. James Buescher. So these are basically the whole stack. We'll just kind of rapid fire through these. Of course, James won that Xfinity race at Daytona a number of years ago where all the leaders crashed. He was running 11th on the last lap and made it through the crash. Managed to win his only Xfinity Series race. Of course, he is a former Truck Series champion. There's the truck. He was driving for Turner Motorsports. Not sure the story behind why that team shut down. It was one of those crazy times in racing. A lot of teams would win a Truck Series title and shut down. There's the 10 team. I can't remember if that might be Circle Bar Racing. I can't really remember. But there's he drove for a handful of teams here and there. And then he just kind of fell off the map. I think he was somebody. Yeah, there's the Turner Motorsports logo. He had a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but dollars just didn't show up. So you got to have dollars to make the cars go fast. And, you know, obviously Chris Buescher, his cousin, has had a pretty good career. But being a Truck Series champion, definitely nothing to sneeze at. So that will be a wrap for our events and birthdays for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll definitely have a rip tomorrow of some kind. We'll obviously have our birthdays, and we'll jump back into those fast packs, our little short series that we've started. This seems to be gaining a little traction, so I'm having a lot of fun with that as well. So thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you tomorrow.